That's a rather interesting question because the angle we're looking at here isn't really that Google is trying to reduce the impact of SEO. They are, however, following a certain policy when it comes to backlinks. So in Google's mind, backlinks should be earned, they should be merit-based. And as we know, in some industries, this is rather a bit of a challenge. So yes, Google does have their policy in place, and I do believe, based on my personal experience, that every webmaster and website operator should be comfortable following their own policy, either abiding by Google's or not, but being aware of the risks. Now, why Google does do certain things they do is because they want to make sure that the integrity, the quality of their results is maintained, and they have very much their users foremost on their mind. But that doesn't mean that us as an industry, that website operators, that site owners can't do whatever they consider the most promising approach, as long as they know what they're doing. I think it's perfectly fine to embrace Google's policy, but if one chooses not to do so, just be mindful of what can be Google's wrath and understand what can be done in order to undo the damage and get back into Google's good grace. And here, in this instance, the disavow tool and the reconsideration requests are very important tools to get back on track if you need to. Backlink liabilities is something that almost every large website experiences. And this is really because there are poor quality sites out there that would be linking your way at one point or another. The older the website is, the older the domain is, the more backlinks are out there. This is something that the vast majority of website operators does not really need to be too concerned about. However, if you want to rest well, if you care for your good night's sleep, you may want to look into your backlink profile every now and then in order to make sure that there are no risks, no liabilities that may be holding your website back. And this is in particular important when there is, for instance, changes are due, say a domain migration or content migration, URL structure change, or serious content upgrades. All of these steps meant to improve rankings. However, they can be hampered, they can be held back if backlinks liabilities are left unattended. For that reason, I do believe it's prudent for large website operators, for large websites, and in very competitive environments to include a backlink audit as part of their technical annual audit and review as part of good business practice. There is obviously the opportunity to use the backlinks that the website generates to their advantage because they pass on trust and patron, what a lot of website operators are interested in, and thereby they grow their rankings in organic Google search. However, there is an alternative approach, and that is one where links are being built with the explicit purpose to generate converting traffic. So links that do not necessarily pass PageRank, they very well can be no-followed, but where links that are placed in very prominent places, major platforms, where the relevant traffic is almost certain. This is something that can very well be gauged, and even if the cost seems at times to be excessive, it's outweighed by the conversion and the traffic that is forthcoming, that is both relevant and imminent. I do believe that in very competitive environments, that can be both a risk and a risk-free and a very promising approach that represents an alternative to building links the old way, with PageRank in mind. Last but not least, there are yet more bigger fish to fry, and frequently, rather than focusing the SEO efforts exclusively on backlinks, with regardless whether this is going to be PageRank passing links or no-followed links or traffic links, frequently there is much more potential for growth if we focus on the technical aspects, the content, the unique selling proposition, the performance of the landing pages. That's very, very often where huge potentials lie that are yet untapped. And that's what I would focus on, especially when we talk about very competitive and large websites.